Hello, everyone. Welcome back. So today we are joined by Mr. Zac Fotheringham. How are you doing, mate?
All good, brother. How about yourself?
Yeah, all is good. So today we are going to go through. Alex is here, by the way. Today we're going to go through how to get the most from your clients, because if you know of Zac, and I'm just going to read out his Instagram bio here because it is pretty fucking sick. 16 overall titles, 38 class wins, 90 top threes, and 3 pro cards across different federations. How long of a coaching career has that spanned across?
I have been doing this now, solely comp prep. I've been doing it for around, I would say around about 8 years.
And prior to that, you had a pretty good career. I suppose it's still there.
No, I've been in the industry since I left the army. So I was in the army for 4 years, and then out of the army straight into. I was doing a few jobs here, there, and everywhere, just earning a fucking living, and then I was straight into the gym, working behind the desk, and I just made my way up. Yeah. And I'm 37 now, mate. So it's been a fair few years.
Zac's a masters athlete, if anyone knows.
Fuck off, never. I'll be that fucking 50-year-old still trying open.
Brilliant. So with regards to your own experience, with your own competitive history, give us an insight into that, how that's taken you, impact it's had in your life.
Okay, so always been prior to competing as a physique athlete, I played a lot of football, and it weren't until I just got to the point where I was just getting injured all the time, I decided to take a step away from that, because obviously, as you know, even if you were getting a bit of money for Saturday football, it's never enough to cover your bills. And unfortunately, when you get injured at that level, you can't work, especially as a PT. So I jacked the football in, started just solely going into kind of like, the bodybuilding kind of things. And I just found a love for it. I competed the first time in a men's physique in the old days of UKBFF, the rest is history. So I have competed in. I've actually when I joined Pro Coach, I pulled up all my things. I don't know if I've still got that. In fact, I probably have, if I'm honest with you.
All the stats.
So I've got. This is gonna be one of them awkward moments where I'm looking for it and everyone's silent. I can't fucking find it, mate. Oh, me. No, I am. Okay, so I have done. I put 7 shows down. There may be 1 or 2 where I didn't place and I didn't want to say. Anyway, I've done 7 shows, placed 3-4 times, placed second once and first twice. That's obviously all at an amateur level, and that's between UKBFF and 2 Bros. Okay, and that is literally all in open men's physique. So I've got that experience with, and I think that's absolutely fucking crucial for any coach to have, being in the mix of things and seeing what it's like from a not just a physical but a psychological standpoint as well. What it's like, what it takes to get down to that gnarly fucking condition, which I may not have the genetical structure to be anyone big in this game, but as terms of condition, it's pretty much I can get fucking nasty. I can get nasty with condition, and to get that, doesn't matter if you have got it genetically, you'll know yourself, Alex. Doesn't matter if you have got the potential to get nasty condition, like it's still a fucking head fuck.
To get to that level of like peeled inside out, we've probably spoken on here about it before, but it requires a certain mental fortitude.
Oh, absolutely.
To kind of go to that level to be like, I'm fucked, but I'm going to make myself even more fucked.
Yes.
Because it's like, you've got to go that 100% and then some to willingly allow yourself to have nothing left. And it's having that nothing left whilst trying to live life, everything else that you can do to
live.
as
much living as you can do.
It's like people talk about their sex drive disappearing. It's like when you get so fucking gnarly lean, you can't live. So it's like just existing fucking hurts.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. No, I totally fucking agree. And like I said, having the experience in doing so, because I'll always say, what does it take to be a good coach? And I will never ever say about someone's credentials in terms of their knowledge, because I kind of feel that's the fucking non-negotiable, right? You're supposed to know what you're fucking doing. Like if you don't know what you're fucking doing, then you shouldn't be in the game. You shouldn't really be having the conversation. So it's kind of a non-negotiable. So I'll never mention anyone's fucking knowledge, because if you haven't got that fucking knowledge to do it,
you're not part of the conversation.
Don't fucking do it. But
that thing is, like, a lot of people will kind of brag about like their knowledge or education, all these like courses, but at the end of the day, like, you're even like the very basic level, like your PT accreditation, that's just your entry ticket. Like that doesn't mean shit. And like a lot of the course you do afterwards, it's like that's kind of the standard that a lot of people should be maintaining, just to kind of be in that conversation. And then like there is a bit of a dichotomy where people either say, oh, it's about your personal experience or the education, but it's going to be both of them. You know what I mean? Same thing as anything in this industry, it's going to lie somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, no, I agree. So yeah, I know that's pretty much it. And when it comes to where you get that knowledge from, I think is massively important. Obviously, we can all put our heads in textbooks and stuff, but real life experience, real life fucking in when you're actually in the mix with your fucking athletes, with your clients, and you're making these decisions and seeing these things happen. Sometimes the textbook told you it's not supposed to go that way, but it fucking did. But it fucking did. And I'll always give credit to the people or the giants that I've stood on their shoulders to learn off. And I have arguably been with two of the best coaches in the world, Neil Hill and Callum. Like Neil's obviously the big chunk of where I've got my stuff from, because me and Neil, if you have followed me for a while, you'll know that me and Neil, fucking best friends, is the godfather to one of my boys, and very, 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 very close friends. And just if it wasn't for Neil, I definitely would not be at the level I am today. 100%. That's not me saying I've lived off his name. That's me saying I have took so much from being there, even being there with Neil when he's been around his guys, like, because I've been over there when he's been with all of his athletes, and we all know that Neil's athletes, they're top of the fucking food chain. And just seeing him, how he is with his athletes and the calls that he makes, that's been fucking imperative to my skill set. And then obviously meeting Callum and becoming very, very close with Callum, I just feel you ain't gonna get two better coaches you can learn from.
Yeah.
You just don't. And so that's pretty much where I am with my coaching, coaching at the minute, and that's made me who I am to fucking day. I don't know if that's fucking gone way off the fucking subject, but that's it.
I think that all kind of feeds into the subject. Like, we were talking about getting the most out of your clients. Like, you've just demonstrated a very, very clear, like, very good, strong coach-client relationship you had with Neil. You know what I mean? Like, as I said, he's the godfather to your son. And I kind of see that with you and your clients as well. You know what I mean? And I think when you have that level of empathy, also because of the fact that you've went through those preps, you've dug out that nasty condition, they see that as, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, your words hold more weight if you've actually been through it. Yeah,
absolutely.
So how does that kind of look on on a day-to-day basis with clients or like weekly, you know what I mean? Like getting the most out of them, like when you see their heads start to turn, or like what are the first signs that kind of pop up?
It's the ones that go quiet.
Yeah.
Like especially like 100%, like you're nodding your head down, Alex, you fucking know what they, you know, you've got these, that's another reason why I'll always say to my, you know, I'll always say to my athletes, clients, you know, I don't care what, I don't know what we fucking call them, okay, right? But I'll always say to them, like, what you see here, lads, is what I do every fucking day. Like, I don't move from here. In fact, the only place that I move is probably into the kitchen to make my fucking meals. Like, literally, I'm from here to my kitchen. Now, on my Mac, I've got, you know, I might be fucking computer fucking retarded, okay, all right, but my Mac, my WhatsApp is on my Mac all day, so I'm available to my clients whenever they fucking need me, okay, all right, unless I'm not on my Mac, I'm in the gym, okay, but I've got my phone with me, okay. So I'll always say to them, and from the get-go, you'll always have a message in your sending your pictures. I'm literally saying, like, you walk past the fucking mirror and you think you look good, send me a fucking picture. Like, you walk past the mirror and you think yourself look shit, don't take a fucking photo. Okay, all right. But what I'm saying is just keep. I'll always say from the get-go is like, you guys know how lonely this fucking journey can be. Like, it is. Like, our families are you know, I'm blessed with the wife that fucking understands how much of a crazy fucking motherfucker we all are, but she gets it, okay, all right. But I'll always say, like, for most it's not like that, okay, all right. So I'll always say, let me be that fucking person that you're talking to on the daily about your goals, about your dreams, about how far you want to go with this shit, okay, all right. That the ups and the downs, will share them. So they're all talky at the start, and then they go quiet, and you're like,
something's not right.
It's not right. So you reach out and you say, dude, you okay? Yeah, I'm struggling in a minute. Well, fucking talk to me. Do you know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, just that message can pick someone up. I know it has done for me before, whenever I've reached out to Neil or whenever I've reached out to Callum when I'm on prep. And it only takes, because you respect their words so much, they only need to say a couple of words to you and you're fucking ready to rock again. Do you know what I mean? Okay, all right. So that's one of the biggest things I see, or when I know that someone needs fucking speaking to.
It's like last year in my prep. You even reached out to me last year because my head went fucking west. Like, yeah, and like I was in a spot where I was just like, I don't want to fucking do this anymore. I'm done. And then even you reached out to me, and I was like, what the fuck? Which is like,
because that's that again. I mean, I weren't with Team Pro Coach then. I was obviously with Cal. I was close with Cal, and I remember him saying, like, because who you were, Alex, it was like, you know, you're on board here you're on point here to go and fucking smash the British and whatever. And it's like, Cal's like, he's struggling a little bit. So I was like, boom, straight on it, fucking and I don't know if it did, but it only takes small words off a few people, and it's like, right, I'm fucking ready to rock again. That's how you keep people on plan. Like that's it. Like, you know, we could go on and talk about fucking the hunger, the mind games and all this shit, but it's like, at the end of the day, it's just that person that's going to turn around to you, your coach, the one, you know, the guy. This is what I'll always say: if you don't respect your coach, if you don't, like, literally live and breathe off their fucking words, it ain't going to fucking work. Because when shit gets hard and they're trying to tell you it's okay, you're like, yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, if that's the point, you're with the wrong fucking guy or girl. So yeah, that's my thought on when you know.
It's an interesting one when an athlete does go quiet, especially when they've got that ambition and that chat to, I want to achieve this, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like, when they get they get scolded if they don't place as high as they want to place, or whatever it may be. It's happened to me recently.
Yeah,
a guy who competed didn't do as well as he wanted to do. Disappeared for 4 days, just absolutely fucking vanished. And it was like post-show, and I was like, I need to know what you're up to post-show. And during that period, it's like, the damage was done because he completely ran away and put his tail between his legs. And it's getting that person back on track when they have dipped in, even if you've contacted them or not. It's a difficult one to kind of like get back, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like you need to have that. You need to be on top of people to make sure they're going.
And again, it goes back to that. It goes back to that experience of you being. You can have empathy with what they're going through as well. Not because, well, I mean, you've always done well in your fucking shows, but what I'm saying is, you have that empathy. You can imagine. You can imagine if you didn't place, like how it would feel. So you can, there's a fine line between what you've just said there of saying, because I've had it done to me before with clients, and it's like, you've got to have empathy with them, and you've got to kind of sometimes let them do what they want to do, because it's kind of, it is, I think post show and during prep are two different things, two different scenarios. If it's during prep, again, which I've had it done, it's kind of, you got to be the hard one and go, look, you fucked up, like, and it's going to be hard to get back here. Whereas post show, we have to be that little bit lenient, because inevitably you want them to get back into the groove of things. They just needed a few days to fucking unwind and gather their thoughts. And it's like, I would never, like, your guys come off stage, I would never take too much of what he said as gospel.
Exactly.
At that point, because heads all over the fucking place. Like, you as a coach, it's a certain skill set to go, you know what? He ain't thinking straight. Yeah. Let him call me a cunt. Let him call me whatever he wants to call me. Just for now, I'll speak to him in a couple of days. 9 times out of 10, you speak to him in a couple of days, and everything.
Yeah, it's a different person after they've had that kind of mental blowout, because you're going to make a lot of very emotionally driven decisions. And I think most people will have gone through at least one bad post-prep period. You know what I mean? But it only takes one to actually like learn from it. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with me in like 2018, like compared to this year. Breeze.
Yeah.
I'm sure next time Alex done really fucking well, still struggled a bit post show.
Yeah,
I really hated post show.
It's not a results driven thing that the post show blues. You can still be very successful and still go through that.
Yeah. This is why I recently put some up about it, and it's kind of like, it took me fucking ages. It took me fucking ages to get this. And now I try and preach it to my fucking boys. I say boys because most of my clients are fucking boys. Okay, right. But I preach it to them, and it's like, this bodybuilding game is fucking harsh. Okay, like, every motherfucker that is prepped right and put the fucking work in deserves to win on stage. Like they do. But unfortunately, it's not how it fucking goes. Okay, all right. Now, it's like, we need to come away, because you guys, you know as well as I know, 99.9% of us aren't going to fucking earn a living from fucking competing. We ain't. We're not going to do it. We do it because we're shit back crazy. We do it because we're addicts to this fucking. We're addicts to this fire that literally makes us feel like a fucking man or a woman or whatever, but makes us feel like fucking we have purpose. For me, the bodybuilding was a replacement for football. I've always competed. I've always competed at some level, and for me, it was a void. Now, and that competing it's like that winning. I needed to change that mind shift, because I still wanted to be competitive, but understanding that bodybuilding is different. It's different. Bodybuilding is one of those sports where it's so fucking different. Your results are based on 5 people sitting in front of you. And whatever those five people, you may have got a different result if those 5 people were a different 5 people. Okay, all right. And we need to understand, and every new client that comes through the door now, is I'm like, only do this if you enjoy doing this. If you enjoy the fucking horrible dieting, if you enjoy the horrible off seasons, if you enjoy like that, because if you're doing this just to win, it's going to be a horrible sport for you. And you're going to regret doing it, and you're not going to do it for too long, and you're going to waste too many years, because you know as well as I know, guys, years can go like this in this game. 1 minute you're growing, next minute you're prepping, next minute the year's gone. Like, that's it. Okay, right?
I think a lot of people have that misconception as well, as that, oh, I'm just going to do this and then I'll dip in and do that. It's like, that isn't enough time. Like, I'll just do a 12-week prep. There's not enough time.
No.
Have you seen where you're at? You need to build this, you need to build that. Give yourself 2 years. No, I'm going to do it this year. It's like, fucking hell, right? Okay. It's just like,
I have, Alex, mate, I have literally turned clients away because they have come to me and they have said, hey, coach, not really doing this for the longevity. I just want to give a show a go just to see what it feels like. I'm like, don't do it. Like, do not fucking do it. If you just want to do something for a few fucking pictures, or do a photo shoot, do something like that, okay, right? Do not compete, because it will take your fucking soul. If you do it right, it will take your fucking soul, okay, right? So yeah, I just want to, like, for anyone who's listening to this fucking podcast, and that is literally, do this for the fucking journey. I'm sorry if it sounds fucking cliche as shit, okay, but do this for the journey and not the fucking destination, because if you're doing this just for the destination, you'll get there very quick and you'll be disappointed.
The reality is, as well, is that the level of people coming through, you have to be 110%. Anything less than 110% are giving your everything to it, because it is all consuming. It's not just going to the gym to work out. It's going to the gym, working out, busting a fucking nut, coming home, eating, recovering, sleeping, doing everything you need to do, and living a life on top of that, and having that balance in covers, which doesn't exist. And having that, and then you got the prep, which is all consuming plus more, and dealing with the level of fatigue, tiredness, and fuckery. People don't realize the level of commitment that's required in order to be successful. So why the fuck would you want to throw 110% just for a couple of pictures? Because you won't get the result you want, and then you'll be disappointed because you were never committed in the right place in the first place. You know, your goals have to be aligned with what it is that you're trying to do, and they need to be legitimate in terms of why you're doing it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, this is obviously your guys' podcast, but I'm going to throw you a question, okay, right? And would you say a huge problem that we have got with nowadays is people's expectation of how well they're going to do? You know, no, you're not. You know, they come to you, they've never done a show before, they've done a show before, and they're telling you they're going to go for a pro card, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to do this. Like again, at the start,
pro card.
Would you say that? And I've only noticed that. I've been in this for fucking years, but I've only noticed that of late.
Yeah, it's we had the conversation with Chloe a couple of weeks ago, didn't we? It's like everybody now is going for a pro card, no matter who you are. Everyone is going for that.
As if there is an infinite amount of them.
Yeah, like, it doesn't make a fucking difference who you are. Just because one person told you one time you could potentially go pro, and they're like, I'm going pro, this is my year, this is this, rather than just enjoying the process and just turning up and seeing what happens and doing you. People are so, I'm like, I'm gonna say deluded in terms of, some people are fucking deluded in terms of what it is that they're going to achieve, and it's just like, I don't know where that culture's come from, but it's definitely there at the moment.
It's because, like, everyone, like, social media, Instagram is going to be your highlight reel, and everyone has seen someone be very successful and they think that they can emulate it. Like, if you, before, like, Instagram, you only knew the people in your gym, if there was no people there turning pro, you probably didn't have much ambition to turn pro. You know what I mean? But now it's like, okay, I scroll through my Instagram, I see like fucking 5 people turning pro, taking overalls, and that's when people start to get that idea in their head. It's because they're getting exposed to it.
No, I agree. I think again, you know, if you're a coach as well, and listen to this, is if I can offer one piece of advice here, is if you have athletes and clients come to you with that mind, bat them down straight away.
Yeah.
Like, bat them down straight away and say, listen, you know, be realistic. I love the fact that be motivated, use it as motivation to keep you pushing forward, because one day it may happen, but it also may not. Okay, right? And all you want to do is just get absolutely peeled, get in fucking best shape, you know, take it to the fucking stage, and then if anything else comes from that, it's a fucking bonus.
Yeah.
It's a fucking bonus. Okay.
Like that. That's what I said when I started working with Joe. Same thing when I started working with Luke now, like a couple of months ago. Like I sat down and said, I know I'm not deluded. I am not getting a pro card. Genetically, don't have the structure for it. I'm not deluded, but I'm still going to get all my meals in. I'm still going to train as fucking hard as I can, because again, it's like that journey. It's the structure that bodybuilding gives me. It's like the connections that it gives me with people as well. Like that's something that I think a lot of people lose sight of just by fucking going down that rabbit hole of pro card.
Yeah. You get people, so many just get disappointed. So the disappointment, and it's probably, again, going back to you know, keeping your clients on fucking plan. It's like, this is one of the biggest problems for it, is because they don't get it, and they're like, why the fuck have I not got a pro card? Like, fuck this shit, I'm not doing this anymore. And then you don't see it for fucking a week. Okay. But that, again, like I say, it may have gone off a little bit there, but it actually all comes back to the fact that this is how you're going to keep your clients on plan, and keep them moving forward, and keep them on the journey, being fucking realistic with them. Don't blow fucking, you know, don't tell them they're going to be a fucking pro if, you know, if they're not going to fucking, if you know, I can look at someone, like, for example, I looked at, you know, from the minute, I mean, I've known Jermaine, you know, Jermaine Donker. Okay, yeah. Right. I've known Donks from fucking years and years and years, and I've said to him from day one, you have the potential to be a pro, because he's got everything. He's got everything. He's got a small waist. He's got that big fucking horrible fucking giant back, big wide back. He's got, you know, he's got all those round muscle bellies. Give the guy fucking 0 carbs for fucking seven days, he still looks full as a house. Like, I was like, you're made for this. So I kind of, you know, you can say to, but I never said to him, never once did I say to him, you're going to get it this show.
Yes.
You're going to get it this show. You're going to get it this show. I just said, one day you will be, if you keep going. And he fucking did. But you know, that again, for me, that's not blowing smoke. That's just being realistic with the person who's in front of me. And I think you've got to do that to every single one of who you're working with, because I think that's our duty as a fucking coach to do so.
It is that element of keep going though, in terms of absolutely everything. It's like the amount that you just got to keep turning up, keep showing up, keep doing it. You know, some days you're not going to want to train, some days you're not going to want to do anything, but you just got to go and get it done. You know, just give it 110%. And as what I was calling it, snowflakes a couple of weeks ago, there's a lot of fucking snowflakes, which is just like they just get their feelings hurt and their feelings burn, and they're just like, oh, well, it's not for me then. Well, fine, if it's not for you, fuck off. Like, that's my opinion on it. It's like, don't participate.
Yeah. No,
like name for this podcast. If it's not, fuck off.
You don't want to fuck off.
Yeah, but you're right there, mate. Look, listen, I know it's harsh, but and the harsh reality is, like, it's hard to say to someone, but it's like someone you've got to say, you ain't built for this shit, bro. Like, you ain't built for this lifestyle. Okay, go and take yourself away, go and get yourself nice and lean, look good on the beach, etc. But for this lifestyle, in terms of competing, you ain't. Some people just are not fucking cut out for it. Some people are just not cut out for it, and it's a horrible pill to swallow for some, but it is.
How does that look for you in terms of, like, let's say, screening someone? Not that we're going to go through like a formal screening process, but like your first interaction with someone, sends you an application. What are like the green lights or the red flags that's going to say this person is going to go somewhere, or like, let's fucking change this, let's bring them elsewhere?
Okay, so I am literally when I pull someone up on a consultation call, literally all I'm looking for is he's not a snowflake. All I'm looking for is, like, you know, is to let them know, first of all, what they're going to be basically I'll tell them what they're about to go through. Okay, all right, you're going to be hungry, you can't go out for meals with your fucking family all the fucking time, you can't do this. I'd rather hit them with what's going to be fucking hard rather than the glamour fucking of being peeled. Okay, all right, there's no fucking glamour, you feel shit, but telling them the harsh the harsh realities of what they're about to start. Let them know that this lifestyle is about phases. So from the get-go, tell them that yes, you're going to struggle for the next fucking 16 weeks, but it's only 16 weeks. You don't have to live like, you're not going to be living like that forever. And kind of seeing their response to that. Like, how do they fucking respond to that? How do they come back to me after telling them that? And other than that, mate, as long as I don't care, I don't give a shit about the level of someone. I don't care if someone's going to be a fucking pro, or if someone, if someone's got potential of being a pro, or someone's literally, maybe not genetically there that would ever even fucking do well in a fucking show. I'll always fucking tell them. But as long as they give me 100%, and I'll also tell them that I'm not like other coaches. If you fuck up, I'm going to tell you that you fucked up. I'm not going to say, oh, it's okay, fucking, yes, okay, it is, and you've got to carry on, but you are got to own your fucking own your shit. And if they're okay with it, mate, they're on board. Like literally, they're on board.
Yeah. Tough love approach.
What's that?
A tough love approach.
It is, but
that's similar to me.
It's worked for me for the last 8 years.
But it's similar to me. It's like, I would prefer to be brutally honest with somebody rather than lie to you. In respect, like, I want you to have a very realistic understanding about yourself, and like owning your shit is the most important aspect. And like not owning your stuff and blaming it on everything else other than you is not going to wash for you in the long run in this game. Like you just say, like, you just get your feelings hurt.
100%.
And is that the same when they come through, even if like they haven't even mentioned competing? But if you see like potential in there, you're going to outline the hard shit straight away.
The way, as in, what do you mean by then? If they come through and they've not even talked about they want to compete?
Or like even if they know they have, let's say, a year off season ahead of them beforehand.
I mean, it would be the same. Like, I've always said that I'll always talk about the level of restrictions and sacrifices that are being placed dependent upon the goal set, the phase, the goals, the goal setting. And I'll also, let them know that, in this fucking off season, there's less restrictions and sacrifices, but there's still an element of, you can't become a fat freak. Yeah. So and it's like, I mean, I'm glad you said that, because again, hopefully it doesn't go too much off of what you said, but it's like the off season. It's like off seasons. It's like about clients owning their shit. I will never say to a client who is in off season, you can or you can't have off-plan meals. Okay, all right. If you want an off-plan meal, if you want to go out for a fucking meal, go for a meal. That's fine. And it's fine if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 a week. That's fine. Until it's not fine. Until, as long as you're making sure that you're getting the baseline fucking plan that I've put in place, okay, all right? Anything extra is you owning your shit. If you want to go out for more food. But if you come back to me within 2, 3, 4 check-ins and go, I'm becoming a fat fuck, or I see that you're becoming a fat fuck, and or not just that, or you're starting to say to me, oh, I'm putting on too much fat, or I'm doing, I'm not feeling great, I don't like the way I look. I'm like, stop having all that extra food then.
Yeah.
What would you do in that point when you see that? Would you rein them back in, or?
Absolutely, no, absolutely. Okay, you've been having fucking 3 off plans meal. Stop. Okay, right. Let's run it for the next 2 or 3 weeks. But that's proper coaching. That's like working on someone for their environment, the current situation that they're in. Then, okay, and just saying, look, for the next 2 or 3 weeks, let's just rein it back in again. Let's just see if we can see what happens if we pull those fucking 3 or 4 off-plan meals that you're having a week. Let's just pull them back in to see how you look from there. But that's obviously different conversation. That's just how I feel that coaching should be done. But going back onto the point is just people need to own their shit. Like, people need to. We're not babysitters. We're not for someone. Let's just say I'm coaching you, Alex. I'm not someone for you just to feel okay because you've told someone that you've done it. Do you know what I mean? Hey, coach, I had an off-plan meal. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's very much so. If someone fucks up whilst they're on prep, it's like, hey coach, I fucked up. I binged. It's like, you fucked up. What do you want me to do about it? Starve you for the next 2 fucking days? No. Just go back onto plan. You own your shit. We talk about it at the end of prep. You know what I mean? Okay, all right. But you're giving me a list of things here. So if you don't win, I'm going to tell you that's why. So that's my. I don't know if it went off a little bit there, but yeah.
I think athletes though, that acknowledgement of, I think Bridgman spoke about this once before. Having off-plan meal or not doing what your coach has told you to do is a calculated risk on your behalf. So it's like, I've taken calculated risks when I've been with Callum on prep, okay? But it's just like, that's on me. Whatever the outcome is, that's on me, because it's out of the plan of what it is that you do. But once you understand the process of what it is that you're going through, you're able to make those calculated risks. Yeah. If you're a newbie to this game and you're making calculated risks, that's a fucking risk. That's not calculated. That's just straight up fucking dumb. So it's
blackjack. You're playing blackjack.
Yes, it's very 50-50 about it, what it is. So it's like having that, you spoke about this earlier, Zac, having that respect and that understanding for what it is your coach says, especially at an infant stage, then you can have that understanding of, okay, this is what Zac says, this is what it is that I'm going to implement and do from that point, and so it's a lot easier from a coaching perspective as well. If somebody has done everything you've said, you can manipulate those variables a million times easier, rather than if they're doing their own fucking shit. Because at the end of the day, what's the point in being coached if you're doing your own shit?
Absolutely, that's absolutely. I totally agree. You need to demand. You don't need to demand. We need fucking to have respect for whoever's looking after us in terms of that fucking coaching. Because if you don't, it's not going to work. And if I'm honest with you, Neil and Callum, in terms of someone who I'd respect, they're probably the only 2 people I could be coached by. I'm just being honest, just because they're the only 2 that I kind of, I look up to and go, they're the boys. Like, they're the boys. They're the boys in this field that are fucking killing it. Do you know what I mean? So that's you need respect. You need fucking respect, man.
Yeah, I think a lot of that, like when we come back to like the coach-client relationship and like people having ownership and self-efficacy, like a lot of that is driven by who you're working with. Like Alex said, if you're a newbie, like you can't make that calculated risk. The reason why you can do this pretty efficiently now with the people you work with is, again, because you have that personal credentials. You know what I mean? You've been there, and now the caliber of people you're working with is a lot higher. Whereas the likelihood of you being able to do that like a few years ago was probably been a lot less. So it's kind of like going through there and then basing it off who's there, who's in front of you, and like if they can actually make that calculation. Absolutely.
Like the advice, the big advice, obviously all the talk that we've done in this podcast, and if I could just nail it down to advice for other coaches, and that is for them to keep their clients on plan. It is literally just, don't be fucking scared of losing them. Don't be scared, because I prep coaches. I prep guys for competition. I don't prep them how to be a fucking coach, but I prep coaches, and they have conversations with me about their clients. And I'm just saying, like, you can see they're literally scared of losing clients. And it's like, if you're always going to be tiptoeing around that thought, that's the clients that you're always going to fucking attract. Like, that's the client, and you're always going to be spinning around in a fucking circle, pissed off for yourself, because as well as I know, guys, anyone with a passion of what we do, it's fucking frustrating when clients are fucking not sticking to the plan, and you're literally having conversations with them every single week, or I've been there years ago. I was on those calls and I was just banging my fucking head thinking, is this what fucking coaching is? Like, is this what coaching is? And it wasn't until I was like, you know what, fuck it, if you don't fucking stick to the plan, if you don't like it, just go and find another coach. And it wasn't until I had that fucking, at the start, yes, you lose a couple, but then when you get clients in, when people know that you're that coach, you get the fucking, quote unquote good clients.
You get the people who want it.
Yeah.
And they already have that level of understanding about, this is what I need to do. This is how I need to execute. And I've got the respect for who it is that I'm being coached by.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Sweet. I think that's pretty much it covered. Like we always say, we're going to run this for half an hour and then most of them run over.
Yeah. Okay. How long were we going?
I think that's about half an hour now.
Very cool.
Yeah. Is there anything else you just want to touch on? I think we've covered.
Alex, you first.
I'm good.
Yeah. Just like I said, the finish up with it is obviously mentioned about the coaches. Like, be that coach that's known for being that fucking harsh coach who demands fucking results and etc. And as for you as an athlete, like, just fucking do this for the right fucking reasons. Like live it, enjoy this fucking crazy lifestyle that we lead, because it is a crazy one. And if you focus too hard on that trophy, on that card, on that whatever your goal is, you're gonna hate this sport. And I don't want people hating this sport. Like, I want people fucking loving it, because as much as it is a crazy one, it's fucking amazing if you're in it for the right reasons. I love it. And you can meet some awesome people, like awesome fucking people doing this shit. That is my last thoughts on this.
I think that's a perfect way to finish. Zach, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Cheers. Right. Thanks, everyone. Any other bits of feedback? Anyone else you want to hear on the podcast, let us know, because we have a few people lined up. But yeah, we're going to wrap it up now. Peace and love. All the best.
See you in a bit, lads.